Video games draw us in as players, in a way that few other mediums can, connecting us to their core with mechanics, characters, worlds, and objectives. This series is aimed at studying elements of game design that enhance our sense of immersion in video games. This is my Immersion, and this is the cinematography of Bloodborne. Bloodborne is a PlayStation-exclusive horror action RPG developed by From Software, and is a spiritual successor to the extremely niche Souls franchise of the previous console generation. On the night of the hunt, players are called to eliminate the beasts of Yharnam, tangling themselves in a Stoker Lovecraftian tale, in a world so visually striking and consistent it demands study. Our hunter sets out to cleanse the night of beasts and seek the pale blood. A premise so vague compared to this true story so rich. Yharnam and its locales only a small part of a cosmos so large. What sort of world is this? Cinematography applies to camera work and lighting, colour palettes and movement, the process of creating beautiful, striking and provoking images on screen. Typically a word used in film critique, the term can be made to apply to gaming in the form of lighting engines and set design. Incredibly important aspect in the visual representation of Bloodborne's Gothic World. The term Gothic is the best to describe the visual feast of Yharnam and its surrounding villages. Drawing inspiration from a rich collection of horror literature and art, the game wears its influences on its sleeves. Whether this be huge oppressive cathedrals, dark and twisted forests, the insanity of its inhabitants, or the design of the beasts that haunt a hunter's nightmares, the game bears such a striking visual consistency not many other games have, making Yharnam and its beasts come all the more real. The first area we can look at is Yharnam itself, old and central. A city so gothic in architecture and design it feels as if it were ripped out of an 18th century novel. Fictional religious imagery of the Healing Church and School of Mensis litter the lovingly crafted and artistically posed streets, lit only by the intensity of the moon and the fires of the streetlights and civilians. The fires of Hemwick Charnel Lane illuminate the crazed women spinning in the plazas, brandishing pitchforks, making their way through cramped cobbled streets, driven mad by their own blood on the night of the hunt. Ghostly blue sheens illuminate the pale stone of Bergenworth Academy, shrouding its practices in mystery only to be revealed in a cosmic intervention. The unveiled red moon masks the unseen village, its winding roads and towering buildings in a cloak of menace, revealing the town's eldritch rituals in its wake. The nightmare of Mensis is engulfed by Murgo's Loft, a structure impossibly large, its corrupted grounds given light through the intensity of an old one's maddening gaze. Finally, the hunter's dream. A serene oddity of flowers, cobbles and living dolls. A nightmare masquerading as a dream, hiding a sinister secret beneath its foggy expanse. This may be all well and good, but what does it mean for the game Bloodborne itself? As gameplay should remain king. How does the impressive cinematography affect our playing of a horror action game? The answer is simple: oppression and insignificance. The looming structures, the enormous monsters, the red moon and the creatures of the cosmos. All of these elements combine to create a sense of smallness, to feel completely out of depth, merely a minuscule character amongst the size of unrelatability of the plan of the Great Ones. The elaborately and concisely sculpted sets remind us that our character is simply the closing chapter of a prequel book in a series we will never read to completion. And while our actions are driven by the necessity of the moment, vanquishing monsters, hurting civilians, and dressing messengers, the moment is merely a blip on the film stock of the Great One's eternity. Of course, our final choice embodies the determination of our character, and the gruesome ritual of celestial birth grants greater purpose. The moon glares on the same, however, welcoming another night, welcoming another surrogate. The cinematography, i.e. lighting and set design, is one of Bloodborne's most unique elements. They sculpt a cosmic world so unbelievable it becomes real, entering us to a story that we are barely a part of. Yharnam is a place of monsters, a home of hunters, and a cesspool of madness. One of the most unique game worlds, with the focus to combine different subgenres of horror into a consistent, terrifying, and believable world. If Bloodborne cannot immerse you, I do not know what can.
Oh, good hunter.
This is my immersion. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.